I think this game is everything he needs in terms of an opportunity, because I would argue, and I don't even know how much either of these matter to him. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But there are two things that are maybe on the Brock Purdy fan brain going into this game. And one of them is it was the scene of the crime, right? Like, is there some sort of PTSD with regard to Brock Purdy going back to Philadelphia? He was asked about that.
I mean, yeah, I got hurt there and everything, but, for me, it's week 13. We're going on the road in a hostile environment. We're late in the season, so every game is obviously big for us. And so that's where I'm at with my mindset. Am I going to go back and feel a certain way? None of that. It's a new year, two new teams, slightly different in ways. So that's how I'm looking at it.
It's interesting with that response. He makes it sound like, no, I won't even think about it. But then someone followed up and is like, not even a little bit? Like, will you take a moment?
Usually every single game, whenever I go in the stadium, I take a little moment just to be thankful for where I'm at and in the game that I'm about to play in. So none of that changes. Am I going to go in there and get all, sentimental about, man, I've come a long way, since it's not really like that. We have a goal in mind, and I'm trying to be the best version of myself every week. So am I going to go into the game saying I want revenge and all this kind of stuff? It's not like that, So I'm just going to try to go do my job and be the best Brock that I can be for this team.
I tell you
third person. We've reached third person. All right, BP. Get it, kid?
Brock going to go play a game on Sunday.
That's right. It's going to be the best Brock I can be. Thank you, Brock.
I don't know, man. If you're a Niner fan, you got to love, listen, they're just words, but the way his brain works, you can sort of see why he's, if this is even a thing, you can see why he's an overachiever. I mean, he's got the right mental approach to so many things. And this is sort of a larger version of throwing an interception, throwing a pick six on national TV on Thanksgiving night. You heard his response after that. He was just like, you hate it and you immediately want to learn from it, but also like, I'm walking to the sideline and I'm already being like, do not dare lose your aggressiveness.
Right.
He's got the right idea about a lot of stuff. And I think what we've seen in his short career is, in ways that surprise us, is he also has the physical tools to go out and execute the mindset. That's why he's so good.
And I do think that the mindset is born out of more than just being in the Shanahan system. It's born out of playing in the games that he's already played in as a college athlete. When you go to Texas and you go to Oklahoma and you play on the road in all these spots and you play Notre Dame in a bowl game and you play in front of 60 and 70,000 and you play 4 years of college, I think that is a muscle that you develop in terms of shaking off bad plays and also understanding that even when you go back to the place where your arm got ripped off in the NFC Championship game, ultimately, the best thing you can do is just play this game on this day, not let all the outside noise and the hype and, the highlight packages, because the game's going to start off with, well, here's Brock Purdy. Last time we saw Brock Purdy on this very field, and then you'll see Tyler Kroft missing a block and Hassan Reddick coming free and hitting him on the arm and the ball shooting straight up in the air. And is it a pass or is it a fumble? And, oh, my goodness, Brock is down. And then cut to Brock on the sideline, and you can see him mouth the words, "I can't throw." And it's like, uh-oh. And
that's not good.
That's probably not good.
Feel like we might lose the game now.
Felt like that's not good for a quarterback. But so he knows that all of that's going to be a part of the story. But all he can do is go out there and play, that first down snap, get in the huddle for that first play, and just play.
Do you know what's funny? And I think you hear it in the line of questioning that we as a media or fan base sort of give these guys, is you can always hear and see how and why they're wired different than us. I've never had any trouble admitting this. If I ever ended up on an NFL field, I would immediately get in the fetal position. Oh my God, it is the most, and only because we've been down on a football sideline before, and when you get a look at it that way, it is the most breathtaking, terrifying, overwhelming thing you could ever see in terms of physicality. And these guys are built to think that that's normalcy. Now, I won't say that they don't get nervous too. I know that they do. I think I told you the story one time of Nick Hardwick, the Chargers center, telling the story that he used to throw up before every game. I think he played for 12 years, and he threw up before every single game. And I'm like, I bet.
It's like Willie Beeman from Any Given Sunday.
Yeah, I bet. You see what goes on out there. I would barf too. So they get nervous, but they're also wired in a way to handle it. And Brock, part of what's so odd about him is he looks like the guy that would get in the fetal position, but this whole line of questioning of like, oh, you're going back.
The scene of the crime.
Right? Are you going to meditate?
Right.
Are you going to go find the yard line where it happened and kneel down and touch the grass and say hello? Like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm going to go play football, and I'm going to start by being thankful for the opportunity to even go do this. And you're like, are you in there? Are you okay? But that's how I feel about football players. Like, they're wired to not get overwhelmed by this stuff. It's why they're able to do it, and quite frankly, the rest of us are not. It's not just, when I say the rest of us, I don't mean guys like you and me. I mean other people who even physically would be built,
right,
but can't make the league because...
Or guys who make the league and can't stick.
Right. There's a mental side to this, too, that's true in every sport, that's just like, they're half crazy.
Right.
They're completely half crazy.
And you find this in many other fields, and I think about like musical theater or ballet or musical performance where you're out there and it's like you're in front of 50,000 people and you've got to hit every note and you got to remember all your dance steps and all the rest of it. And that's difficult. And there's pressure and stage fright, but you don't have 11 other individuals trying to physically hurt you. And that's where
right.
Even I think about like golf, and I love golf and the pro golfers, and Tiger's back today, by the way, which is huge news for
it's interesting
for the golf world. He's trying to play every month, and you think about the golfers, and it's like, yeah, what you're doing is incredibly hard, and the pressure, and it's dead quiet, and you got thousands of people watching you, but no one's out there on your blind side ready to, rip your arm off. So these guys, even baseball, like, yeah, you're in the box, and there's a pitch coming at 100 miles an hour, and it could hit you in the head, and you could die, but basically, you get 3 hacks with a piece of wood, and if you don't hit it, you're going to be okay.
If you got into a skiing accident, would you think about it when you got to the top of the slope again?
Been there, done that, and yes.
Right. Like
hello?
You go back to the spots where traumatic
I got a skiing accident trying to get off the lift, okay?
Dude,
that's the skier I am.
I don't ski. I don't ski for this reason.
Stop whopping me.
Stop whopping him. No, keep whopping him. It's funny.
It's good. It's a 4 for my career.
I don't ski. I don't ski, and part of the reason I don't ski is because I grew up enough. I didn't do it as a kid because my parents didn't ski.
We were too poor.
And then I was an adult when someone's like, you want to ski? And by the time you're an adult, you've sort of lost that complete indestructible thought.
Yes.
And I'm like, I've had too many friends come back from Tahoe in a cast. I go, this just seems like a bad bet.
Oh, God.
Give me a snowmobile. I don't want to ski.
Give me a hot chocolate, maybe a hot toddy.
I'll be waiting for you at the bottom with
no doubt,
with a Manhattan on the rocks.
By the time I was old enough and I went and I skied, and I'm skiing, and I'm going down the mountain, and all I can think of is, you're terrible. You stink.
Terrible at this. Well,
Dibs is a skier. You stink.
I learned that as well, and I wonder.
Get off the slope.
I guarantee, if the lovely Christy is listening, I know what she's saying out loud right now. I learned this in college when I tried to get on a skateboard. I'm a decent, I'm a decent athlete, but not feet sports, feet coordination. And I don't mean that in a way of like I trip over my feet.
I know what you mean.
Like skateboard, no. Skiing, no.
Skating?
I tried to surf for the first time this summer.
That's going to be a no from me, dog.
That's going to be a no from me, dog.
That's my favorite.
Absolutely
Dude,
not.
I'm with you.
Dude, I was seasick before I could even get up. She took me out there in Hawaii. We're in Kauai. You head out, few waves, and you're just sitting out there, up, down, waiting for the waves. And about 45 minutes in, I'm like, I think I'm going to puke. why do I feel this? Didn't even occur to me what was going on. I'm such a landlubber. It's like, we're not doing this. Like, if you've got to hook stuff to my feet, I'm out.
I'm with you. Boards, apparati with wheels. If there's like snow or ice involved.
Tried to go ice skating last year. I never left the wall.
Dude,
I'm not doing this.
I can ice skate a little bit, but I can't go backwards. And a lot of days at Cal Skate up in Rohnert Park. A lot of roller skating in my background. But get your guy a paddle or a racket. I'm dangerous.
You're the man.
Anything that involves me going up or downhill or like leaving the ground in any fashion, I'm out.
Dude, you can go to IG right now and watch my release on the floor at Chase Center.
Look pretty good.
And not as well as I used to. I can shoot a ball. I can throw a football. I can pitch a baseball. You put something on my feet?
Totally.
Yeah, give me 3 wops. Dude, you put something on my feet, it's gone. So anyway, that's an aside to the whole idea. Like, I was even thinking about this. I don't want to bring everybody down. I think everything ended up being totally okay. I think. But I don't know if I told you this story. So I'm driving out to Pac-12 Network 2 weeks ago. Hit it.
Thank you.
By the way, you really shouldn't get a drop anymore for the Pac-12 Network.
We're down to the last days of that counting.
You should tip your 40 is what we should do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm driving out there a couple of Saturdays ago, and the interchange from 24 to 680. Is that right? Does that sound right?
Yep.
Heading out to San Ramon.
The Walnut Creek interchange, but go ahead.
So I'm going through the interchange, and all of a sudden, there's 3 cars. They're off the road. There is trauma.
It's a 3-car conundrum.
There has been something that just happened. No emergency personnel on the scene. And I and one other lady, you go by and you realize they need help. And so we pull off the road, which is not the safest thing that I've ever done. But ran over there. We get the phones out. We call 911. I can't even really piece together in my mind what happened. I have a theory, but you've got 2 cars up against the side wall.
Yep.
And one of them, airbags deployed, an accident. And one of the cars has pinned a guy, he's got his leg underneath the wheel of the car. And he is...
The steering wheel or the actual tire?
He's under the tire, his leg. So we're not talking about he's going to die, but this man is in major distress, major pain. And I'm looking at this for a moment going, how the heck? Can someone, what's the equation here? How did you end up there? Now, I did not. I was not a jerk, and I went to go over there and ask him.
You didn't say, what are you doing?
Sir, I'm sorry. What are you doing?
You're supposed
in the car. Let's turn it into a Dr. Seuss book like a jerk. We call 911 and get it all. My point in bringing this up is this visually was even traumatic. I had some nightmares that night. And so I will never go through that interchange again without flashing that and thinking about that. And so Brock Purdy is going to go back to a spot where he immediately had his entire career questioned and surgery, all of that.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, whatever. We got a game.
Well, they see these types of accidents that you saw every single day.
Every day.
And it not only to themselves, but throughout the course of their football career. So this becomes, kind of de rigueur, if I may.
Yeah, that was good.